Welcome everybody, and thanks for watching Radio Free QuickBooks TV, brought to you live from Plano, Texas, the Intuit headquarters there, Studio 3A. My name is Woody Adams. I'm a product specialist with Intuit, and I'll be your host for today. And we're happy to have you. This is our second season, second run of Radio Free QuickBooks TV on Intuit Academy site, and hopefully you guys are going to see a good 10 episodes coming up here. But let me bring in, of course, co-hosts, co-founders of Radio Free QuickBooks, Stacy Kildal, W Brolin. Stacy, how are you doing today?
I'm fabulous. I'm always fabulous. How are you, Woody?
I'm good, thanks. And doing well. Drove in early, got the turtleneck on, and even used conditioner. So we're rolling today.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, thank you. Don, yourself?
I'm fabulous as well. I'm going to steal a little bit of that from Stacy. But today, as I've always been saying all along through all the episodes, who I'm not.
Yes.
And today, I'm not only a master's degree. I now am a CPA.
Right.
So I'm not just a master's degree anymore. I am now a CPA.
No, very good.
So anyway, otherwise because that's part of the reason why I'm unbelievably fabulous.
Yeah, and you guys know as well, if you've been watching the radio show, the Radio Free QuickBooks show, of course on the internet there, the series of tubes, Dawn has been working on her CPA for about last year and a half, I think.
Almost, I think, my whole life.
Yeah, right.
I would correct it to be the timeline being
and then
my entire
Connecticut
life.
finally stamped approval
Finally.
recently.
I took some muscle.
So before we bring our guest on, I know you guys, they brought you over in the helicopter here this morning. How was that ride?
It was nice and smooth, actually.
Yeah, it was great.
I remember my first chopper ride with Intuit. It's kind of scary. Texas wind.
Yeah.
Wind blows down there from Oklahoma. And
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a little left, a little right every once in a while. But.
We're very excited, though, today for you guys to be able to talk to Joe Woodard. We've had Joe on many times in the radio show, of course. We're really happy to have you on Radio Free QuickBooks. Joe, thanks for coming, and how's it going?
It's going great. It's going great. We're really busy getting ready for Orlando.
Oh, nice. Yep, Scaling New Heights, and we're definitely going to hit that. Nice flight in and no problems from Atlanta?
Absolutely. It was a little far for the helicopter,
Yeah.
so Brad came over in the jet, and they came in with the jet. Absolutely. Helicopter popped from love, though. So
Right. Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, you're a longtime promoter of the show. You've been on the show, I think, almost 5 times now, almost half a dozen. We really appreciate you coming on and coming out here, actually physically, to be with us on the TV episode here today, the first one. And just wanted, though, for people that might be watching that still don't know who you are, if you just kind of give your story a little and a little about your relationship with Intuit, and then we'll roll into Scaling New Heights.
Absolutely. I've been a QuickBooks Pro Advisor since the Windows 3.1 days, so I'm a real veteran of it. I don't go back to the DOS era that some of the Pro Advisors enjoyed, but definitely been at it for well over a decade, about 15 years, and began to train other users of QuickBooks. That morphed into training accounting professionals, which eventually resulted in a phone call from Intuit. I was shopping at Sam's to get the point of sale hardware software bundle box, which barely fit in one of those huge overblown baskets,
Right.
For one of my clients for our QuickBooks point of sale V1. Okay, and I got a call from this office of Intuit saying that they wanted to talk with me about building accounting professional training out of the Intuit office under a contract. Everything. It was basically a call that changed my career.
Wow.
And so I worked with this office of Intuit here in Plano for a number of years, building up accountants professional training, spent a lot of time on airplanes, and eventually that contract matured.
Right.
And decided that I wanted to stay in that business. I didn't want to go back and just consult. I like training accounting professionals.
Right.
So in 2009, I launched a conference called Scaling New Heights in cooperation with Intuit, and the rest is history.
Awesome. So you were, for a while, you were the poster person for Intuit for APD. basically. for
Yeah, I basically
accountants.
was. Yeah, I was sort of the face of APD for a very long time. Yeah.
Right.
Which APD we have to specify
Right.
is Accounting Professionals Division.
Right.
Yes.
Intuit does like their acronyms, so just to clarify.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We get a lot of feedback on the show for that, by the way. We'll try
Yeah.
harder. I will try harder, but it's so ingrained,
Yeah,
when I get home, I just talk in acronyms. And
Right.
kids get it.
The kids
But,
get it, yeah. My family's
so
learned
much,
the
Nick,
acronyms
yeah.
too.
What is that for someone who's kind of new and they want to, we'll go over your great suggestions for the QB consultant, but they want to go to a conference, and we're going to be in Florida this year, which is exciting. But what is Scaling New Heights? Talk about the first one
Yeah.
in 09 and then kind of its evolution to now.
Right. Well, so there are a lot of conferences out there, but 5 years ago, I realized there wasn't one for QuickBooks Pro advisors specifically, and only. I mean, 100% Intuit centric. There were a lot where Intuit Academy went and did a big Intuit presence, and the pro advisors would tend to congregate at those shows because they were the most Intuitized. But there wasn't a
Intuitized.
quote
Oh,
unquote
I like it.
real pro advisor conference. And I thought, well, why not just start one? So I only target to pro advisors. I only allow pro advisors to come, and I'm not going to say an end user doesn't sneak in under the radar, but technically you're not even supposed to be allowed to come to this show unless you're a QuickBooks Pro advisor. And only sponsors of the show have to integrate with Intuit or be part of the Intuit commercial hosting program, part of the Intuit ecosystem,
Exactly.
or they don't get in. So no Intuit competitors, nobody ancillary to Intuit, only people that are tightly connected to the universe, the Intuit universe.
And you have bouncers there to kick them out.
We actually do.
The riffraff,
Yes.
keep
Yeah,
the
big-
riffraff
big
out,
guy.
right there at the door.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And then all the training is Intuit centric. So it's either on QuickBooks or on Intuit products or on products that integrate with Intuit. And that's really what sets it apart.
This is the fifth one.
This is the fifth one coming up.
Yeah.
Stacy and Don, you guys want to weigh in on Scaling New Heights experience, and we'll go
I
back to Joe?
love Scaling New Heights. We were there last year. Dawn and I taught all 3 days, all day, and it was awesome. I had a great time. It's really good for networking, for training. The training is amazing
Yeah.
there. There's no other.
You do say so yourself.
Yes, if I say so myself. I mean, I'm not talking about what we do, but just the opportunities are, the first time I went, I had a hard time choosing which tracks to go. That's the problem. If there's any problems with Scaling New Heights, it's trying to choose which training you want to do, because there's so much to
17
choose from.
concurrent tracks.
Yeah.
And all of it is intense educational training. 80% plus is intense technical training.
Yep.
You're in
So-
product.
Yeah,
or
you're
at least
deep in
the
products,
presenter's
right.
deep in product.
Right. So even before we were going to Walt Disney World this year, I used a Walt Disney World example a lot to say, because people would tell me, why don't you have fewer tracks so I can make easier choices? And I'm like, well, if I give you fewer, you can still only be in one place at a time.
Right.
So nobody wins by fewer choices. So I used the Walt Disney approach to say, if you spend a day in Walt Disney World with 5 theme parks, you are not going to do everything.
Right.
But it enhances your experience that you have more choices. Just make choices, and then you can always come back to my conference next year.
Exactly.
And do the things.
And Don is over the haunted house portion of Scaling New Heights, right?
That's correct. That's
What-
where my.
What have you been doing the last couple of
Yeah.
years there?
Well, I've, of course, been doing quite a bit of training, and I love doing it.
Yeah.
Last year we had Team Brolin. We'll have Team Brolin again, though there'll be a substitute coach. We just call it a substitute anyway, right?
Yeah,
Is it all right if I
substitute,
say that?
absolutely.
So, so I'm excited about that because I love her. She's great. She's a great trainer, a great teacher. And if it's okay for me to say, I'm going to be
Yes, it
focusing
is.
on the advanced certification training,
Nice.
which we know is a struggle,
Yeah,
a
that's
challenge. We
exciting.
talk about the crying and the
I
gnashing
cried.
of teeth
I
to
cried.
become advanced certified. So I'm going to take on that, what I would call a monster.
Yes.
And people better pay attention.
Yeah, oh,
I
they
do
will.
throw things at the audience, at the player. Make sure we're going to keep people awake.
Yes.
Do be
And
careful if WASP is there and they have those rockets again. Those will take
Oh,
out
yeah.
an eye. So we had to move, kind of move the props around a little bit because we could hurt people. But yeah, what I love about Scaling New Heights mostly is that you're getting the best training and the best consultants in the country come to this. So you go there, you learn not just so much within the session, but the minute you walk out of that session door, the time that you spend with other consultants outside of that, you can't put a price tag on that relationship
Right.
that you can build. Will English sent me this most wonderful, beautiful box of chocolate where every single piece of chocolate in the box was good. You know, sometimes
Oh,
you
yeah,
get the candy and you're
right.
like, oh, this one's nasty. Every single, I mean, I built a relationship with Will because we met at Scaling New Heights, and I send him e-commerce, point of sale type of work.
Exactly.
And that's not going to happen for Will and I, you know, emailing each other. We
Right.
got it because we're face
Gotta
to
have that
face,
FaceTime.
and it's like no other.
And I like it because it's a niche products too. It's heavy on enterprise, point of sale. You know, you try to choose a niche to go into as well, not just supporting Pro Premier. And you've been a proponent of that for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Niche is one of the ways we grew our practice, and we slowly picked up more and more of the Intuit product line as we grew our practice out.
Yeah.
And that was our expansion. You know, the Intuit product line became our expansion strategy. We picked up, of course, QuickBooks Core first, and then we pick up other additional Intuit products. Then we pick products that integrate with Intuit. The inventory ones have a tremendous consulting opportunity, but so do the products like CRM and that integrate with QuickBooks. You can do so much just playing within that Intuit ecosystem. So I've got a webinar coming up. Folks can find it at scalingnewheights.com. It's a free webinar called Taking Your QuickBooks Consulting Practice to the Next Level.
Yes.
And it's going to talk a little bit about how to drill down on the rest of the Intuit product line and incorporate those into your practice, and to selectively make intelligent choices about QuickBooks integrated products.
Right.
Well, not only will the conference help you make the choice because of the exhibitors, but it also will empower you to make your choice.
Yeah.
So the ideal thing is that you would choose your expansion plan before Scaling New Heights. So if it includes, for example, QBO, they go all the way through the QuickBooks Online cert, which of course will burn up 100% of their breakout real estate, but what do they leave with? They leave empowered to consult on QuickBooks Online for the next year.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
that's a fantastic ROI.
So you don't have to get overwhelmed. You pick and choose, but what I like is you walk away intelligently knowing, well, this feels right for me, this is what I'm going to do this year.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I tell people
Yeah.
have a one-track mind. Because when you're at Scaling, because let's say that you jump around and you pick up some QuickBooks Online skills, and you pick up some QuickBooks point of sale skills, and some skills on a couple of products that integrate with QuickBooks. The question I would ask everybody, could you, in your practice, appropriate 4 new products in 1 year? No way.
Right.
Not unless you hire 4 new people.
Not well.
right.
And if you
Right.
hire
Yeah.
4 new people, then you've got 4 attendees for scaling. They each go to their own tracks. You got that problem solved.
Yeah.
But one person can't appropriate 4 new products in 1 year. Pick a product, appropriate. Then next conference, pick a product, appropriate. And then you've solved your multi-track problem.
So scalingnewheights.com, when are the dates for this?
That's June 23 through 26.
Okay.
And it is right in the heart of Walt Disney World at the Contemporary Hotel.
fun.
You will literally take a monorail from one breakout to another.
That's
Monorail.
awesome.
Nice.
Yes.
You know, we went to Disney World a couple years ago, and we never even had to go in. My kids were perfectly happy with just the parking lot tram and the monorail.
The
We
monorail's
didn't even
cool.
have to go into the park.
Right, right.
So
Yeah, I remember that.
There's a magic just
Yeah.
in being there.
Well, let's, a couple minutes left here. For a QuickBooks consultant, you know, what is your suggestion or two, Joe, for them to consider?
Yeah, so I appreciate you asking that, Woody, because the Woodard Consulting Group is really my day job. This
Right.
the conference has become its own corporation, its own entity, its own world, but it's all based out of my experiences with the Woodard Consulting Group, and it is my first love, to roll up my sleeves and get in there and help that user of Intuit training to succeed. And if I had one suggestion to make, it would go back to the niche opportunity. The branding of your firm needs to be around a specific way small businesses use QuickBooks, a specific sector of small business, and even more micro vertical, a specific way that industry uses QuickBooks. Once you've established your firm with that brand, you mentioned Will English. You can't think Will English without also thinking QuickBooks point of sale. If he didn't establish that kind of an industry-specific, product-specific branding around his firm, he wouldn't be nearly as successful as he is today. I can't say your name without thinking about QuickBooks Online. You know, you need that in order to, and it's not like Stacy can't go in and do a great job with the desktop.
Right.
Of course she can. But the main thing she puts on her virtual billboard is QuickBooks Online, and that's what gets her name recognition.
And you guys have taken on a QBO client? Is that true?
We have not yet.
But
I know, but I made a promise to the attendees of Scaling New Heights in Nashville that I would, and we are very close to adopting, I know, TikTok.
and then Stormy's hair is starting to get a little pink in it.
Yeah,
That's what happened. as you get into that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
exactly right. The more you do QBO, the pinker your hair gets.
This is true.
Because
This
Dawn
is true.
actually colored it darker because she was
Darker.
getting some strands.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
getting a
some
little
coming
pink.
in. I was like, ah, color that back down. That's no
No,
good.
that's good stuff. And also another part of your platform too, just to finish up, National Advisor Network. So you're
Right.
actually going to Dallas tonight. You have a big NAN group meeting. So explain that to people
We do.
too.
The
It's
National
another source.
Advisor Network is a synergistic organization with the conference and my practice. It is a peer group of people like me, like Stacy, like Dawn.
Like Woody.
Woody actually can't attend.
I know.
Yeah,
but he's
he's-
a pro advisor.
Yeah, he's a pro
That's
advisor.
what I
but
meant.
Intuit
On paper.
employees are actually
Paper.
not allowed to attend. It's a by us, for us organization.
Kind of like the orphan, you guys.
Yeah,
That's all
exactly.
right.
But it is for us as Intuit consultants. But it's our little time to get together without Big Brother watching, and just sort of talk amongst ourselves.
Yep,
And
that's good.
so there are 900 members in the National Advisor Network, 60 chapters in 40 states, including
Yeah.
one of our biggest chapters here in Dallas, Texas. I'll be speaking at tonight.
Awesome.
Nice, that's
Well,
awesome.
Joe, we appreciate you flying in from Atlanta, making all that huge trip, and the copter ride was fine, and coming into Radio Free QuickBooks TV. Again, go to scalingnewheights.com, everyone, please, for that. We'll see you there in June. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stop by the Intuit booth, and thanks for just kind of weighing in on all your expertise.
It was
and
great
yours
to be
and
here,
our
guys.
Thanks
Great
for coming,
partnership,
Joe.
and
Thanks,
Stacy, Don, and let's go ahead and hold the shot. 3 seconds, looking at that camera, we'll be done. Hold the shot.
Thanks for watching this episode of RFQ TV. For more episodes of RFQ TV, you can check out intuitacademy.com. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, and if you'd like to continue the discussions, you can find us on LinkedIn.